So now I'm the Rockstar Coach.
And as the Rockstar Coach, what do you do exactly? How does this work?
I see dead people.
Welcome to We're Not Dead Yet, Women Rocking Their Next Chapter. We are in for a treat today because my guest has not only reinvented herself, she's not done reinventing herself, and she's a rocker chick. She is a rock and roller, performs in a band. We are gonna get to go on stage and see what that's like with her, but we needed a more quiet environment to get to know Michelle Froge. Michelle, welcome.
Hello, thank you so much.
You do not look like a rocker chick today.
No, I have my corporate attire on today. I have different facets to my personality as well. And I was just feeling this today, and that's the beauty of it. We can do whatever we want. Wear what you want, be who you want, feel like you want to feel any day of the week. So.
Exactly, and I am a big proponent of when we get to this stage, we should feel free to be all the aspects of ourselves.
Absolutely.
And just show it all. So, take us back. Little Michelle, what was she going to do with her life?
Be a singer.
A singer?
And I did it!
And you did it! Yay!
Yeah, I did.
And
there's not many people that can say that, and I'm really proud of that. And that is who I am. I remember standing in front of the mirror when I was, I don't remember when I wasn't standing in front of the mirror with a hairbrush, right? And you know that you've done it too. You know you have. Grew up in church singing and all of that. And then once I was in my early 20s, got in an actual secular band that played out at bars and things, and that was like really super cool. And then it progressed. I actually moved to Tennessee from Arizona when I was 24, and then immediately got into the music scene there. Fast forward, was in a band with a couple of ladies that eventually one of them started having children and she needed a sub. And the band that she was working with at the time was out of Atlanta, Band X, the band that I am in now. And she said, hey, would you like to take my place while, I'm out? I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I did, and they asked me to stay, and it's been 13 years.
Wow. Yeah. And how old are you now?
I am 49. Woo-hoo! My birthday is in November, so I will be 50 this year.
What I find so great about your story is it's got layers of reinvention, which we're going to get to, but also just even though you always wanted to be a singer, you have always been a singer. Not many women just living, normal suburban life can say, or realtors can say, I rock and roll on the weekends. And especially that you are still doing it and still being sexy and fantastic and drawing the crowds. And I think that's just so inspiring. Not everybody can be a rocker chick, but you can step into your power and do bold things at any age.
Yeah, I can be corporate today and rocker chick tomorrow.
Yeah.
And really, I'm the same person because it's who we are on the inside. It just comes out in different ways.
Yeah.
We portray it in different ways at different times.
Yeah. But you had another day job.
Oh, yeah. In Tennessee, I built a very successful real estate business, residential real estate, and had my broker's license 17 years, almost 18 years in July, it would be 18 years. And in that, I just being completely honest, I loved the money. And I mean, it was great money, right? You know,
nothing to turn away.
no, I mean, and it afforded me a wonderful life. Had I not had the money, it would have looked different, right?
Right.
Not that I couldn't have done it, it just would have looked different.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the relationships that I formed through real estate, invaluable. Friendships to this day I still have through real estate. So definitely don't want to knock that part of it. But the business part of the day-to-day, I'll be honest, I was really good at it. Really good at it.
Clearly.
I'm a great negotiator.
Clearly.
And I know why now that I was, because I could see both sides, and really I wanted a win-win for you know, everyone. But it wasn't what lit me up.
Yeah.
I knew that there was something missing. However, for the last, while I was active, the last 3.5, 4 years while I was a broker, I had an office with about 50 agents. And that was nonstop. I mean, I coached them all the time. And that was part of it too. I never had a moment when I wasn't Michelle the realtor.
Right. Working.
Always working. And I understand when it's someone's passion, it doesn't feel like work. Because that's how I feel now. But when I was in it, it wasn't my passion. And so I dreaded it a lot of times. And though I did a great job and made great money, it wasn't the end all be all for me. And I knew that there had to be something more.
You are currently really reinventing yourself.
Yeah.
And I am fascinated by this. I am not a woo-woo girl, you know, and so but I'm a lifelong learner, and so I'm excited to learn about it.
Awesome.
So, go!
So, when I was 3 years old, I will go back because I did realize gifts that I had when I was a child. So, as a lot of children do, I had an imaginary friend when I was very small. And my family was actually very supportive of that. They didn't realize that for me, it was very real. She was very real. But they were very supportive of the imagination.
Yeah.
And so I got to use my imagination. My brother and sister were 10 and 12 years older. I was alone a lot. And so that imagination had time to grow. And as I got older and learned that that was strange or not normal to have like invisible people that you talked to on a daily basis, you know, I then started to change. And by change, I mean like shove that down. So my imagination always was there, I just didn't express it. Fast forward, high school, there was an English teacher who I credit to this day for really being, it was a pivotal moment for me. I didn't know it at the time, but I know it now. And we played a game of sorts, and you had to telepathically tell your partner what to draw on this paper. And my partner, she didn't get it because she wasn't listening, you know, and I was very frustrated because I knew she wasn't getting it. I was like, listen. And then it was my turn. And I zoned in on her, and at first she wasn't saying anything to me, and then I got it. She said it, and I was like, oh, this is easy. So I drew, and we showed our papers, and she literally jumps out of her chair and starts screaming. And the teacher came over, and she's like, what's going on here? What's wrong? I said, there's nothing wrong. She told me what to draw, and I drew it. And the teacher was like, good job. Looking back now, the teacher was intuitive, and she knew that I had gifts. And that was really a turning point for me. Later in high school, another event happened. I was not happy about this event. I saw something before it happened, and I shut those gifts off. Because it can be scary if you're not in an environment that it is not only supported but understood. Then you're not aware of how to manage it. And so I shut that off for a lot of years until about 2 years ago.
What happened 2 years ago?
COVID.
Oh!
You know this little thing called COVID?
I do.
that we
I'm aware
had?
of it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we spent a lot of time at first, in our homes. Yeah, we couldn't really go places. If you went to show houses as a realtor, you had to literally have gloves and, wipe everything down and basically a hazmat suit. I started following some women online who were using their gifts in a very transformative way through education, through intuitive readings, through coaching. And I thought, I've been doing both of those things or all of those things, just not together. And so it started my wheels spinning, and so I launched a business just crazily in the middle of COVID when nothing was
As
happening.
one does.
Yeah, duh. It's the perfect time. So I just thought, why not?
Yeah.
I can do it. They're doing it. Why can't I? So now I'm the Rockstar Coach.
And as the Rockstar Coach, what do you do exactly? How does this work?
I see dead people. I do see dead people. I saw one last night, actually. I was doing a group reading, and this woman, her father's birthday would have been yesterday. He would have been 98.
Oh.
And I wished him a happy birthday for her. It was actually really sweet. Yeah, he was awesome. He was in a convertible. His gray hairs, like all 5 of them, were blowing in the wind with his glasses on. It was pretty awesome.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Those kinds of things I do. So on the side of being a coach, I do readings. I see dead people. I know it's so cliche, but I do. And I can speak to people on the other side. I can read past lives. So what I know to be true, and not everybody believes this, and it's totally fine, what I know to be true is that most all of us have incarnated on this earth before, most of us many times. And we come back to learn the lessons that we didn't learn the first 25 times or however many we were here. So in my coaching...
Gee, then I must have really been screwed up in my past life.
We all were. We're all here learning.
I hadn't learned much.
Yeah, and that's why I have a job in coaching. Because we should all still be learning. And so it's things like that we want to learn, so that, not just so that we don't have to learn it again,
right,
but so that we don't repeat the patterns. So many of us we get frustrated with ourselves because why am I doing this again? Why is this happening again? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of person or the same kind of experience?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a signature coaching program for women called The Empowered Woman. So in this program, what we do is we focus on what is her purpose. Mm-hmm. Why is she here? So often, a lot of times after 40 or after the children have grown, mm-hmm. we look around and we're like,
what is my purpose?
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you have this channel because it gives us options of what we can do now.
Yes.
But if we don't know, it's really hard to kind of take that first step on a road that you don't know where it's going to end up.
Yeah. So
we figure that out, and I do that in many different ways. Then we heal your shit. Because we all have stuff that's going to keep us from getting there mm-hmm. if we allow it to. Mm-hmm. So we get rid of all of that. And then we put a strategic plan together, because of all my business experience, to get you there. So if you want to start a business, if you want to volunteer for a nonprofit, whatever
start a YouTube
you
channel.
Want to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, you can do it. And so it's really, my secret sauce is the intuition part. Mm-hmm. Because I can see what is likely causing you turmoil or roadblocks or keeping you up at night. And I can either bring it to your attention, I can bring it to your attention in many ways, but mm-hmm. most of the time what I like to do is ask questions so that you get it out of yourself.
Sure.
You become aware yourself much like a therapy session, really.
Yeah.
Because we're discovering, and when you can take ownership of that, then that's where true power is, and that's where true healing can start to happen as well.
You know, and I think about religions, faiths, denominations. You know, I happen to be Episcopalian. The Catholic faith. My children went to Catholic school, and the Episcopalians don't necessarily pray to the saints, but we believe in them.
Yeah.
We believe in them, and the Catholics pray to the saints. You know,
And to Mary.
yeah. So they're clearly talking to dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting how, you know, when you're open to learning and exploring and thinking through things, but also meeting someone who is the real deal and understands the faith connection, the faith gift connection. I mean, just
Absolutely.
like you know, not everybody's given the gift of singing.
Right.
Either.
Yeah.
You know? You know?
I'm triply blessed.
Yes.
I'm a triple threat baby.
Yes, you are. You're a whole nother triple threat. Yeah, there are many gifts. It's just, you know, I've never known anybody with those gifts.
So fun.
So it's an awakening. Yeah,
I'm so
it's very
glad.
cool.
And you know, honestly, that's another part of it. It's another facet that I really enjoy about what I am doing now, is because of that very thing. I'm also able to, besides help guide women to their own transformation, I really am able to help transform the consciousness of our planet. And that to me, I mean, I know some people are going, what did she just say? When we raise the consciousness, when we raise our own consciousness, it really is just opening our minds to possibilities other than what we have known or thought to be true up until this point. And so just in our conversation now, you've opened yourself up even a little bit more to the possibility that, okay, well, that actually could be true then.
Yeah. You know, I don't have the gifts, but I do believe that if you're paying attention, if you're listening, and if you are a believer, that you can communicate with God.
Absolutely. And you know, another piece of that is we all actually do have intuition.
Yeah.
You know, the gut feelings that you get, you know, don't go this way when you're
Sure.
driving, or, you know, whatever it is. And we've all had the experience where we didn't listen to that gut feeling and we regretted not listening to it. That's where it all starts. You just have to learn to trust that the feelings or the sensations or the voices that you might hear or not hear, I mean, that's weird, but or the things that you see in your imagination, that they are actually ways of communicating.
Yeah.
And that's how you are being communicated with.
It's fascinating. Thank you for opening my eyes.
So
maybe we
glad.
opened some other eyes. It'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see.
And this kind of answers the question that you asked me a little bit earlier. How do you convince a skeptic? Well, you just talk. And you just, you know, be genuine and real and authentic and show people that it's not this, you know, witchy, scary voodoo type thing.
Yeah, you chose to leave your like bandana and
Yeah.
bangles at home.
Yeah, I do have a couple bangles, but I toned it down for you. I wore a dress, for God's sake. I mean, come on.
It's so fun. I also want to emphasize the fact that you're still rocking it.
I am.
And we're going to go rock out.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm going to change out of this
Are
dress,
ya?
though, yeah.
You don't think that'll be a big seller on stage?
A super special guest tonight. Super special? Yeah, super special. I had the privilege of being interviewed by the most fabulous person yesterday. And she has an awesome YouTube show. So I want you to get your phones out right now, go to YouTube, and look at You're Not Dead Yet. Women rocking their next chapter. Because I'm fucking rocking my next chapter. You too. You are too. I know you are. And we're going to get Nia Tima up here to rock out with us because she's not dead yet either.
She's rocking those pants and those shoes
Look at
tonight.
the pants. Look at the
Yeah.
shoes. My God, right? The shoes. Ladies, am I right? Oh my God. I'm going to steal all those clothes after the show. Yep, you match. I know. You're one of us. But we're ready to rock out. You ready